good? You live?
We're good. We're live.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back to another episode of Table Talk, home of the most out-of-pocket hot takes.
Episode 7, date
March 9th.
March 9th. We didn't mess that up this week.
Didn't mess it up.
Woo!
On time. This is an on-time podcast.
This is an on-time podcast this week. How's it going, boys? How's everyone doing today?
How's it going?
Good.
We've been getting some good interaction on our videos.
Yeah, thank all of you for...
some likes, some comments, some subscribers.
Watching. No, thank all of you for listening to our nonsense.
Yeah, and staying around.
Yeah.
Sticking around.
Sticking around, yeah. And updates. We don't have the jar, actually. Got the swear jar over there, Don.
I can't really move.
Oh, no, we don't have the swear jar handy. I think we're at, where are we at, 32?
31. 31 or 32. I think 31.
Oh, yeah, 31 because...
Oh, we had to take one out.
We had to take one out. Cam was right at last episode. Fair enough. Yeah, 31. So, subscribe, comment. You're entered to win the glorious swear jar. So,
Okay, let's just...
who wants to kick it off? Don?
I'll kick it off with something that's been trending.
Oh, thanks, Don. Was that Buggy the whole episode, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So who here knows about the Pharma bro?
Oh, yeah.
Martin Shkreli.
Martin Shkreli.
He's the final boss you have to fight when you defeat all frat bros.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, should I give a rundown of him or should I just say what's been recent?
No, I'd give a rundown. Just update.
Okay, so
the folks.
Let me put that in. Okay, so Martin Shkreli. I've been writing his name different every time because I don't know how to spell it. But basically, what's been happening, or his story.
Right.
So he owned 2 hedge funds, 2 pharmaceutical companies, and he was like infamous for raising the price of this drug called Daraprim.
Right.
And so there's been a lot of talk about like why it's so bad, and a lot of people were saying, oh, it's like a cure for AIDS or like a cure for cancer, which isn't technically true. Basically, what it does is it helps you not get this parasite called toxoplasmosis or something like that.
Look at this guy breaking out all the words today.
And it's basically like it's like a side effect of, so like if a mom has a kid, or if the kid is in the stomach.
Yeah.
And at that time,
In the stomach or the womb?
in the womb.
Okay.
If it's in the stomach.
If it's in the stomach
You
too.
definitely call a doctor if it's in the stomach.
But if it's in the womb and the mother gets infected with AIDS, the kid is likely to be born with toxoplasmosis, which is basically like a parasite which can be formed in the brain or the eyes or like, somewhere bad.
Yeah.
It's also treats malaria. It's used, like toxoplasmosis can be found when people like have cancer, like that kind of stuff. It's like a very small group of people, but like.
So wait, what's the name of the drug again?
Daraprim.
So Daraprim is pretty much generally good for any sort of parasite, rather. Because malaria is a parasite as well, isn't it?
Not any sort of. I mean, I think it's very specific between just a few things. But so Martin Shkreli's company, Turing Pharmaceuticals, this is his second pharmaceutical company. Right. They purchased the drug, or the patent for the drug, for $55 million in 2012 or something like that.
2000 and late.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
In 2005 or something like that, the drug was $1 per pill.
Okay.
Then it was like $7, and when he bought it overnight, they raised it to $750 per pill.
Wow.
So it was like a 5,000% increase, and people were like, "This is crazy! Like, you're the devil or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, "No, this drug is underpriced, still." And he was saying how like it's very common in the pharmaceutical industry, like when companies purchase patents to drugs, they just raise the prices because they use that money to like repay, like he has to repay that $55 million.
Right, exactly, yeah.
He's only going to do that.
Debt to equity we're out here talking.
Debt to equity. He's only going to do that if he gets like all the capital from like people buying the pill. Because the thing with this drug is it's not like you take it once. You have to take it repeatedly every day.
It's a prescription.
Right.
Yeah. And so people knew him for that. People were calling him like
Mm-hmm.
the worst names possible, right? Which I guess makes sense because like, you know, people depend on these drugs,
Right.
and he's just like,
Well, that's the thing. When it goes to like the health industry, it's very like, do you blame the pharmaceutical company or like your healthcare provider? You know what I mean? Because I'm sure like look at chemotherapy as well,
yeah,
where it's like here in Canada, it's not something. I don't even know how much it costs really, because in Canada, like it's absolutely free. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I mean, I kind of agree with him with it being underpriced, because I'd say that about every drug. When you're talking about health, like, what's the price you could put on that? You know what I mean?
yeah. That's the thing about it. Like, people have to pay for it, right? It's not like a thing. It's like, maybe I won't.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe I'll get the cheaper one. It's like, no, there's only one drug to treat this. And right now it's $350 a pill. It was lowered in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like $750, which would cost like hundreds, thousands per year.
And it
'cause
used to be $1. You know what I mean?
it used to be $1.
Right.
And like the thing with the whole like pharmaceutical industry, like I was actually looking at a Martin Shkreli video. He was showing how this drug is actually the second cheapest in like the industry.
For what you mean in the industry?
I don't know.
Because when you say
he-
pharmaceuticals, you could say
I don't know.
Tylenols even.
he like pulled up a graph, like you couldn't see it because it was like on a PowerPoint,
Right.
but he was making an argument that like there's other drugs that are like way more expensive.
This is the second cheapest drug out of drugs that cost $750 or more.
if you want to look it up, go on YouTube, search Martin Shkreli versus Professor.
Right.
It's the first one. There's
One
like
of those videos, yeah.
yeah, the guy's calling like everything.
Now, isn't this the same guy that allegedly had Lil Wayne's unreleased album? I think it is.
Yeah, he
Was it Lil Wayne?
Yeah,
He-
his Dedication 5 or
he-
Carter 5, sorry.
he did have that one. Yeah,
Carter
Oh, yeah.
6.
I didn't know he had that one as
He
well.
apparently had it and was going to sell it for like $1 million on
Yeah.
eBay. And everyone in the music industry was like, same thing.
yeah. Like they
Oh,
hated
no.
him because like he has the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he just like buys all the stuff because he knows that everyone hates him already.
He
So why
doesn't-
not be the worst
So why
person?
not be even more hated?
Yeah.
Like I have to give him credit because he already knows he's the most hated person in the world.
I
So
know.
He's just kind of like, I don't care.
Yeah, now he can just do what he wants. Because like if it was like one of us, we'd be like, oh, I don't want to do that because I don't want people to hate me.
Right.
he
But if
just
you're
doesn't
already
care.
hated,
It's like,
Well,
what's
for
the
me,
point?
that's no, I'd be the same. If you're already hated,
What's the point of trying to be good?
because like
Yeah.
from where he was after the whole incident with the pharmaceuticals,
yeah,
there's no return from that.
yeah,
There's unless like even if he turned around and be like, you know what, screw it, it's free. Even then, people would still be like, yeah.
I mean, I don't think he should have raised the prices, but I'll give like, I'm sure there's more to it, you know?
Yeah, like I'll be the devil's advocate and be like, I could see why he raised the prices.
Because another one of his arguments too is like they're also making other drugs, like the whole pharmaceutical company, Turing Pharmaceuticals. They don't just have one drug; they have like a whole bunch of other ones.
Right.
And for them to do more research and everything, they need more money.
Right.
So that was another one of his arguments too, that it's expensive because he also needs the money to like do more research and pay off the patent,
Mhm.
all that stuff.
Yeah, but post that.
Okay, so what he's in the news for today?
Yeah. Okay.
So he got convicted of, I don't know how many counts of fraud, but basically he got sentenced to 7 years in jail.
Now the fraud's based off of what now?
So he runs 2 hedge funds or something like that, 1 or 2.
Right.
And he's been doing like a whole bunch of like illegal stuff, like lying to his investors, like paying people from his other company, just like doing stuff. I don't know exactly what he did. but-
Classic Marks.
Yeah, classic. Anyway, so he's sentenced to 7 years. He also has to pay off like a whole bunch of money and stuff. And part of that deal is he has to sell his Once Upon a Time in Shaolin, I think it's called.
Yes.
The one Wu-Tang Clan
Oh, that's the
album that was released
He
3-4
bought it-
years ago.
Yeah, he bought it in auction, I believe.
There was a bid. He bought it for $2 million.
Yeah.
And what do you guys think?
Was he going to say he was going to leak it too or something?
Well, here's the
Something like
thing.
that?
He said he was gonna leak it.
Same with like.
He
the
has to
whole-
release it now, actually.
No, I know, but
Now
like
he
a
has
couple
to.
of months
Yeah.
ago, he was gonna leak that, or maybe a year ago, he was gonna leak that and Lil Wayne's album, and everyone. That's like when. That's how I first heard of this guy.
Yeah. Well, the thing about him having to release it, I mean, I don't know, because I think the way it works.
Well, he doesn't have to release it. He just has to sell it.
Yeah.
But then it probably will be.
Yeah,
released.
whoever's gonna buy it is probably gonna just leak it.
Yeah, like it's just an asset he has to get rid of to pay.
Yeah, I mean, like that's part of it.
That's pretty much what it
I'm
is.
sure he'll find a way to keep it. Like he'll probably
Yeah.
sell it to someone he knows that he's not affiliated with, and then they'll just swing it back to him. Like they'll just give him the cash back.
Yeah, fair enough. Like you could just like sell it off to someone.
Did you guys hear his beef with what's that guy's name? Ghostface?
Ghostface Killer.
Oh, I haven't.
So basically, Ghostface, part of Wu-Tang,
Mm-hmm.
he said, like, he called Martin Shkreli a shithead.
Nice. No, you're quoting.
That was a quote.
Yeah.
But I just want to make that clear. But he said he called Martin Shkreli a shithead, and then Martin Shkreli, I don't know if you guys seen the video, but it's a hilarious video.
I haven't.
It's a Martin Shkreli, and he's in like a warehouse, and he has like 10 goons behind him.
Martin Shkreli or Ghostface?
Martin Shkreli. It's like the weirdest thing because he's like,
Yeah, goons.
he has like goons behind him, and they're like holding. I'm pretty sure they're like holding guns, and they're like, "Yo, Ghostface, like we'll end you, we'll kill you, like one move, and like I'll just off you."
Yeah.
And everyone's kind of like, "What?"
What kind of backwards world do we live in?
I think Martin Shkreli said he was gonna release it too, like the album, but he was gonna take out all of Ghostface's part.
Get out.
Yeah. So, I mean, that just adds to like why people don't like him too, because he's just like,
Like, what if he just like destroyed the album?
that's up to him.
That's what I mean. Like, he instead of like releasing it, screw it. He's going to jail for 7 years. He's gonna come out, lose all of his assets. He's gonna be kicked off the boards of his companies. You know what
Unless
I
he
mean?
doesn't.
I'm
What
sure
if
he has an escape plan
Football?
for ball.
What if he doesn't even get convicted?
No, he's convicted, right?
Or I
He
thought
got
he was sentenced.
He got convicted and he got sentenced to 7 years, but like the way it works is like if you're sentenced, you can get off when you serve like half of your sentence in probation.
Especially when it's a white collar card.
Yeah, like
They're so good at just like
I mean-
they're in there just jerking off the guards, being like, dude.
we'll see what happens, but like as of right now, he has to give away or sell that album.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes. That'll be pretty interesting.
I think what's probably gonna happen if he has to sell it, I could see right now both Apple and Spotify trying as hard as they can to outbid each other on it.
People are saying it's not worth $2 million because he bought it for $2 million.
Right.
So he's gonna sell it for more.
You don't think like I think streaming services, music streaming services would make
Maybe that.
$2 million off of it. Like if Spotify bought it and they're like, this is ours now, no one else could have it. Tidal, Apple, no one has it.
You know what? I never heard that, but I heard like the actual value of it, like people wouldn't pay $2 million for it.
Well,
But-
I can't
because
see an average person paying $2 million.
He
for it,
tried to sell it once before, and there was a bidding war, and it went up to $1 million, I think.
That's ridiculous.
And then the deal like didn't go through, and he just kept it now.
I could see a streaming service.
I think that was
Making their
years
bank.
ago. So if like Apple or Spotify, that could be something actually.
Yeah, I could see them buying it and being like, this is ours now. Because that would just, because no one else could ever have it. Like if Spotify has it, that's a set. You need a Spotify account to listen to the infamous album.
True.
You know what I mean?
That'd be good. What do you think? What do you guys think of this guy though? Like as a whole,
He's a piece of shit, in my opinion.
why? I mean, like I agree with you, but like just
You know what it is? Like, as a business person,
yeah.
I kind of understood, like, the raising the price of the pharmaceuticals, right? Like,
Yeah.
I get it, because in his industry, especially with pharmaceuticals of that nature, people who need them. Like, there's no, like, oh, it's too expensive, you know, I'll get the knockoff version. No, like, you need this drug.
You need that one.
Yeah, so from the business perspective, I understand it. Sure, he could have been like a humanitarian and just kept that price, made his money back over time. Because even you said they have other pharmaceuticals. They have other incomes.
They have other drugs, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I'm sure they do.
Yeah. So, I got that, but the way he goes about his business is what I hate.
I think he's mixing business and pharmaceuticals. Like, he's trying to make money off the pharmaceutical industry, which I know, like, people do.
Oh, yeah, that's the whole industry.
It's a huge industry. Yeah. But I feel like part of it, you have to be, like, ethical, you know?
And that's the thing, like, I see what you're saying, yeah, because with the pharmaceuticals and with the business, it's kind of a clashing of the ideologies of business is really capitalistic. Make the most out of your investments, right? At pharmaceuticals, you have lives on the line, you kind of have to be understanding.
And people are going to buy it.
Exactly, right? But that's why I don't really blame him. If I was in the same industry, I'd probably do the same thing, honestly. I just wouldn't go about it as he did, where he was sort of there kind of... He was being a dick about it.
Yeah, I think that's another thing too. Like, if he did it and he was like, okay, like, we're doing it.
Are we counting that?
No. Like, if he did it and he was like, listen, like, I'm doing what I can, like.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm doing it for these reasons. Like, I don't want to. I'm gonna try and bring it back. Whatever. Maybe people would be like, okay, like, whatever. But
he kind of just came out and was like, screw you guys. I bought it. This is now the price.
Yeah.
He did the same with the Wu-Tang Clan album as well. And Lil Wayne's album. Like, when he bought them, he's like, nope, it's mine now. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Done.
Mm-hmm.
But can you blame him for doing that, though? It's his.
What?
That's the thing, too. Like,
with the albums?
It's his, though.
Yeah, with the albums, I don't blame him.
He can do whatever he wants with it.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's it. Well,
yeah.
So how are you thinking about it?
Well, I mean, like, in the sense of, like, trying to sell it or whatever, like, the thing is it's literally his. He could throw it in the garbage. He could flush it down the toilet. It doesn't matter. He spent his money. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But, like, with the pharmaceuticals, I agree with you, but, like, I don't. Because at the same time, that's someone's, like, life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If someone that lives in, like, the projects needs it and they're earning, like, $50 a day, they're dead.
Well,
they're as good as dead.
And that's
basically.
And that's the thing where,
like, a painful death, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why, like, to the culture of music, it's screwed up what he did with the whole thing. And trust me, like, you guys know I'm into music, and doing that is just,
yeah,
it's completely messed up. But, like, you do what you want when you cop it. It's yours.
Well, I agree with you with that too.
You really can.
Especially with the albums, because it's like a tangible, singular object. You know what I mean?
But where he's taking it too far is, like, kind of advertising that he can do what he wants.
Yeah, like
he's going on to, like, Twitter, Instagram,
it's
whatever.
just a master stunt, really.
Not even, like, he's taking it to the next extreme where he's just kind of like, look, you don't have this, I do.
Yeah.
What should I do with it? You have no say. You know what I mean? He
yeah.
can just humbly be like, yo, look, I have the album, it's mine. He doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm gonna leak it, blah blah blah. Ghostface killer, go screw yourself. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's why I say, like, I agree with what he does. Like, as far as it goes business wise, I still agree with how he's gone about it, sort of like the marketing of what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he needs a public relations person, or he did rather. He's screwed now.
I think if they're gonna go after him, they also need to go after, like, all the other like pharmaceutical companies too.
Well, because the pharmaceutical industry as a whole is miserably terrible, which is why, like, I don't put the blame so much on them, but it's your healthcare provider, like, in Canada, because, like, there's stuff that we get, like, every time my toe hurts, I go to the ER. I just do because I pay my taxes and it's free. So I'm just out there blowing all your money, whoever's watching this.
If you're in Canada.
If you're in Canada and you're watching this, good chance
money
a lot
blown.
of your money has gone to...
How many toe surgeries have you had?
4.
Surgeries?
I mean, they're procedures, I guess.
What kind of, like, they actually cut your toe open?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've done 4 of those. But yeah, so, I mean, because I'm sure there's people that get that drug here in Canada, but they couldn't give the, like...
They may have to pay for it, though.
No, why would you? Canada, but your health...
Not everything is.
I'd say something of this extent.
There's certain, like, prescriptions that you actually have to pay for.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm sure...
I'm saying, like, would that be considered?
Actually, yeah, I'm not sure of something like this.
I don't know. What I do know is part of this drug, too, you can get it free from the government. There are ways to get it free. Like if you live in America,
Yeah.
what he was saying is 2/3 of Daraprim are free. Like the people don't pay for it.
Oh,
So
so like only 1/3 of them is actually paying for it.
But how is that decided? Like I'm
allegedly,
sure.
I think it works through like you have to like go through like his company and ask them and show them the records and do stuff. It's more complicated than I think it seems.
Like
but
I'm sure. This is why I hate about taking stats from like the defendant, because
you need a third party.
because I'm sure like he's like 2/3 of them are. It's just the loopholes that people have gone through and like the year process it's been of like filling out forms, getting them checked and processed. And then this step and that step. I'm sure to get like a free pill.
One free pill
Probably takes you like 5 months to get. So
I don't know. I mean, like I didn't look into it that hard, but
yeah, fair enough.
I mean,
And that prescription's for AIDS, right? Like if the mother has AIDS.
It's
like
for
to-
parasite
it's for
side effect.
it's for a parasite, but like it only happens if it's like a very rare side effect of AIDS.
But it could kill you.
It's very lethal if you get it.
Do you think like it's kind of a stretch, but do you think that it could like cause an apocalypse or no?
What?
Like
I don't know.
like that parasite, like if it, I don't know, expanded somehow.
No, I don't think so. Because there's loads of parasites.
Well, do you think like any disease that we know right now, that's not like Ebola or something like that, like AIDS or
That we know of right now?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
When do you think the next apocalypse is going to be, and what do you think it is?
What do you mean the next?
I mean, like, so, like, do you remember Ebola? Like,
this kind of actually ties with what I'm talking about, so let's go down with it.
okay, so what do you think the next, like the latest thing, was it Ebola?
Yeah, it was Ebola.
What do you think the next thing that's, like, 50 times bigger than that is going to
Are we
happen?
talking, like, biological or just apocalypse? Because we're talking just apocalypse, I can tie it with what I'm doing right now.
Okay, then let's start with biological, and then we'll finish on what you're going to
I like
say.
that.
Well, are we talking about like a parasite or something that can kill everyone?
Yeah,
Or
like a
spread
like
around?
Yeah.
a biological like virus.
Like
or
a
something.
bug or, like, some kind of...
I have no idea. But you know what's interesting though?
Yeah.
If there was an apocalypse to happen, Costco would have us covered.
Costco would
And
have
that's
us
a segue
covered.
right there.
Are you going with you right now? I
That's
just
a
got
segue.
screwed out of my
Let's-
segue. I just got absolutely screwed out of my segue.
That's how you
Segue.
steal
That
a
was
segue.
even a good segue too.
Yeah.
If there was an apocalypse, Costco would have us covered.
That's a great segue.
All right, go on.
Anyways,
I hate you.
yeah. Oh well, I don't care.
Okay.
Anyways, Costco's now actually has doomsday prepper kits that they're selling.
Fair enough.
Fair
This
enough.
is
The
better than
segue
mine.
just got way
Okay,
better.
fair
The
enough.
segue got way
I
better.
keep
We're
it
just gonna
tight.
take a quick moment. 1 second.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Right there. Yeah. Sorry. Go on. As you will.
Anyways, so these prepper kits, there's as of right now only 2 that are known. Like they're making more, but the 2 that are for sale right now these are in U.S. prices, mind you. The first one's $1,000, and the next one's $6,000. The $6,000 can feed a family of 4 for a whole year, and this is based off of
That's not bad.
this is based off of like the 2,100 calorie diet per day.
And this would all just be like canned food, though, I suppose, right? It's doomsday prepper.
Wait a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have myself.
So the $6,000 kit,
Mhm.
the difference between that and the $1,000 is that it has like rice and lentils in like cans and bags that have a 30-year shelf life.
30 years?
30 years.
What kind of food is it?
So in the kits, they only mention like rice and lentils, and then they talked about the proteins because
Oh yeah, I guess like
they also have like the add water food, which whatever. But the proteins consist of chicken TVP, which TVP stands for textured vegetable protein, which is actually considered
So
like
like vegan food, kind of like chicken.
sort of like it's an actual meat substance type. Like it is a protein, but it
Yeah.
is like a vegan type chicken.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
vegan chicken, like
Yeah,
vegan
yeah.
burgers and stuff like that.
But it has that, bacon, black beans, lentils, pinto beans, and refined beans. So it's mainly beans. 'cause it
yeah,
can last
but I
longer.
mean,
So both packages feed a family of 4?
No. So the $6,000 kit does.
So the $1,000.
Well, it's based on the 1,200 calorie diet per day. So the $6,000 is based on
The 20
more food.
Oh, okay.
Like eating more food per day.
But okay. So hold on. Would the 6,000 feed a family of 4
Yeah.
at the right calorie count?
Well, it says according to the calories that are like divided up in the package,
Right.
it equals out to 2,100 calories a day.
For
That
the
would
6,000.
last a whole year. Yeah.
And then
That's
for the
good.
1,000.
1,000, it only equals to 1,200 calories a day
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For a year.
for one person.
So it's for one person. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 1,200 is for one person.
Okay, that's what I was trying to
Yeah.
get at.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
fair
So
enough.
the $6,000, 21
Yeah.
per person
For 4 people.
for
Though.
4 people.
Yeah.
But it's like the 2,100 calories
Per person.
per person in the family of 4.
Yeah,
So
but either way, just feeding 4 people for a year
Yeah.
is a huge difference
Yeah.
relative to one.
So it has that. These 2 packages are only on the American website.
Of course,
Hmm.
because Canadians.
Funny enough, the
Are
Canadians
crazy.
do have.
No.
No.
It's called the Chef's Banquet.
Why?
Oh, that sounds
And it's
delicious.
retailed at $6,500.
That does sound
Canadian.
delicious.
A chef's
That makes me want to have a doomsday.
a nice chef's banquet.
So that's the only Canadian option, and that it's 36.
Just enough maple syrup to feed a family. of
It's
4.
pretty much just
For a
syrup
year?
pancakes. Yeah, it's
Just
30
beaver tails for a
Yeah,
year.
beaver tails and Nutella and whatever.
Nice.
So it's 36 portions, which feeds 36 adults for 30 days. So it's not a whole year supply. It's only for 30 days.
But I feel like, does the
Wait,
food only
30
last for 30 days?
It says that it would feed 36 adults for 30
What's the
days.
food though? Is it canned? Because if it's
Yeah,
canned,
it's not canned. It's like the same type.
Like
of,
MREs kind of
oh,
thing.
so you don't need to feed 36 people.
No, it's just
Yeah.
like averaging it out. So like,
Oh, okay, I
okay.
see.
if like,
Closest number, yeah. I see.
so like, say 4 houses were like, look, let's buy one house covers it, next house.
That's actually not a bad idea. Like if you lived in like a cul-de-sac or something.
Yeah.
I guess, but for me in that kind of situation, I just buy my own.
I would buy. No, I'd go with the neighbor. Like, yeah, no, so do it, and then I'd kill off the whole neighborhood.
That's exactly why I
'Cause
wouldn't
it's
do
already
it.
the apocalypse.
Exactly.
How's
That's
anyone
not sharing
find
is caring time.
out? Yeah.
Nah.
Now the funny thing is on, so this is all listed on Costco's website. Like you can look this up right. So their tagline for this,
We'll put a link in the description.
yeah, their
Yeah,
tagline,
if any of you guys want to prep for doomsday.
their tagline is enjoy the comfort in knowing you have the essential foods for your family's will of need to survive an emergency or natural disaster. That's their tagline.
Enjoy the comfort of the end of
Mm.
days.
Yeah. And then it's funny because you can't actually buy it in the store. Like you can't walk into your local Costco and be like, hey, can I get the $6,000 package?
You'd think they would, because there's like a 30-year shelf life.
Yeah.
Shelf life? You
Shelf
know,
life. Like they could just put it there and leave it.
you know what though? Like, if you have the Costco membership,
Mhm.
I really wish we did the math for this beforehand. But I'd almost say you're better off buying yourself one of those nice freezers
Mhm.
and just going and buying. Don't
Like
buy the
frozen
kit.
food?
Yeah, why buy the kit? Like a
'Cause what if your
year.
electricity runs out?
No, but I mean like for a year of food. Okay, let's say you just get the canned food at Costco.
Okay.
For a year of canned food at Costco,
Yeah.
it would probably cost you like, for 4 people, say probably like $4,000. I'd say you'd probably save more money if you made your own kit, because it just comes with food, right? Like we're not talking about medicine.
It only talks about like liquids, like drinks, like water, orange drink, which is like orange soda.
Purple drink.
How big is this kit? Is there like a picture of it?
There's no picture. I tried to look at it. Like they have like a
It's literally like a food bundle.
no, it comes in like packages, and you can't buy it in store. They deliver it discreetly. That's how they.
That's-
It's like a
this getting
Fortnite
weird.
like drop from the sky.
yeah.
I can only imagine. It's like the size of like a queen size bed, probably like
I don't know.
4 of them just stacked.
Yeah,
up.
like 10 feet
Yeah.
by 5 feet by 10 feet probably.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
With just like, and I'm sure each package, like one
It's
meal,
thick,
is
yeah.
probably like this wide, maybe this, you know. So I'm like, if you get, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, but I feel like you'd probably be better off going to Costco.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What if you go to Costco, right? And you're trying to buy, let's say, hold on, let me find the number here. Let's say you have to buy like, okay, so in the $6,000 kit, there's approximately 600 cans of food. That's not all the food. That's just some of the canned food.
Right.
So what if you go to Costco and you want to buy, say, 600 cans of food, and they don't have the 600 cans?
No, at Costco they'll have the 600.
I know, hypothetically though.
They will have them.
Why would you hypothetically do that over the package?
Just buying the kit.
Well, because here's my thing: the people that buy this
Mm-hmm.
are like the ones that are like doomsday preppers, kind of.
Yeah.
Or not even that really. There's a lot of people that probably buy this that live in like tornado valleys or like hurricane states.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
But so if you're looking at this being like, oh, I need this, then it's like, dude, just do the math yourself. Wait for those saving days at Costco. It's not like doomsday is gonna happen next week.
I mean, like, I feel like that's why they're putting it out now.
That's
It's
what I was
like,
about
because
to
people
say.
don't know. It's like, if this comes out, people might be like, you know what? I got 7,000 in my savings right now.
And you're gonna spend it on doomsday food.
If people
If you
really think
live-
it's gonna happen.
Well, think about like Hurricane Katrina. If they had that kind of thing then,
Well, that's my thing though. Like, if you're in those states, like hurricane states,
do you think it'd be better to go out there and buy, not in bulk, but portions instead of buying the whole package?
I feel like the reason why they're selling this right now is because they're close to hurricane season. I think that's May in the States is when hurricane season starts.
I feel like it's more for doomsday, like nukes.
So this is what I was going to ask you guys. Isn't it kind of coincidental that this has kind of popped up after the whole kind of talks about Donald Trump with nuclear weapons and
Oh.
Well, Cam, I'm happy you asked,
That's
actually,
pretty
buddy.
good.
First of
Like
all,
that segue.
before we do this segue, this came into my head that Cam's segue started 3 minutes before the segue. I don't know if you realize, but we were talking about parasites, and Cam goes, "Do you think any of those parasites could cause an epidemic
So
or whatever?"
How much nicer
Like
was that?
Inception.
Yeah.
How
This
much
guy-
nicer was that segue?
Man, I didn't realize you started that conversation.
Remember last week I had a terrible segue? I
You
came
made up
back.
for it. You
Oh,
got
I
two
made
this
up.
week.
I came
Two.
back,
Conspiracy theories, segues, useless.
pretty much.
Whatever. Anyways, yeah, but Trump.
Do you think maybe that's why they're?
I think it is.
Like the whole kind of instance that maybe North Korea may,
I think.
or
Yeah.
not even that, maybe tornado season.
I think what they're doing.
Like, why do you think they're doing it now, all of a sudden? Like, why wouldn't they have done it 4 years ago?
Well, you know what? If you've done it, if they did it any time in the past 4 years, like if you just look at the states, they could have picked any time in the last 4 years, and people would be like, "Yeah, I can see what they're doing now." Like, just look at the 4 years of the states. There wasn't really enough of a gap between catastrophes for people to be like, "Why are they doing this now?" There's always like a hurricane or diplomatic problems. There's always something where this would be reasonable to release.
But do you think it's like when I read it, I was just kind of like, it makes sense a bit. Like I can make the connection.
I feel like it's happening now because of the increase in doomsday preppers in the past like 10 years,
Right.
mixed with the states last year getting destroyed by multiple hurricanes and forest fires. Like those, if you look at a good portion of the states with what they got hit with last year,
Yeah.
I'd say a lot of them are kind of self-reflective now, being like, I was not prepared for
Right.
something of this nature. And Costco is just looking at it like, let's sell them.
They know how to make a buck.
Yeah, they're selling it, being like, listen, you guys remember last year? Well, it's been a year. Hurricanes are gonna come again. Forest fires are gonna be rolling through again.
Do you think they're pulling a Shkreli, or do you think they're doing it more for like the people's good and like? Do you think they're trying to?
No
I don't
business
think-
ever does anything for anyone's good. Let's
I don't.
get that right
I
out
don't
of
think
the way.
forest fires are gonna help them.
No, like I
At
think
all.
this is purely for like if
Well,
everyone dies.
This stuff right here would go in with like the bunkers that people have.
Yeah, but if a
Yeah.
forest fire happens to some extreme, right?
Right.
How long do you think that it would cause someone to stay in a bunker for? I'm not saying more than like 2-3 days.
Well, if you look at some places in like California was on fire for like the whole summer.
Yeah, but
If there was like war going on or like nuclear or like
That's
some
not-
kind of gas or something,
Yeah.
I'd say it'd be possible to be like in the bunker.
for like a year, maybe not a year.
I'd say like
a couple months.
minimum like 2-3 months.
Yeah, I'd say
But
so.
I'd also like to say I'd love to have a bunker just to have.
I think it'd be so cool.
I wouldn't.
Just throw a PlayStation in there, just like
Just like a man cave, really.
basically.
That could survive like a bullet from a tank.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Maybe Costco will make one of those.
Your
Maybe
reception would be terrible in there.
not if you have a wired reception.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Not if you get that Ethernet.
Anyways.
Okay, yeah, go on.
But let's say there is a nuclear holocaust.
Okay.
Right.
Okay?
That segue was okay.
Yeah, I'm trying. So, I was, as I'm sure everyone else knows by now, and you two know, about the reports about Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un having a possible summit in May. Now, this was initially reported by South Korean officials yesterday,
Yeah.
that in May there would be a summit between the two of them. However, Huckabee Sanders, who's the White House press secretary.
What an American name.
Huckabee Sanders.
Good old Huckabee Sanders, eh?
That's a great name.
Yeah, no, so she's the White House press secretary.
It's a chick?
Yeah.
You should see her. She
You
looks like Princess Fiona Shrek style.
No, she's like... I've seen her.
She looks like
As
a
soon as
big toe, doesn't
As soon
she?
as I heard Huckabee, I just automatically assumed of like Captain Crunch mixed with like what was the not Elmer Fudd, the other guy, Yosemite Sam.
Oh, Yosemite Sam. Yeah.
Like just a nice combination of the two of them.
But anyways, yeah, she was saying today, and this is classic like Trump White House. She said that the summit will only happen, so it's not set for May.
It's just maybe May.
It's just a maybe May.
Okay.
This is classic
It's a
Trump.
Maybe.
They
It's a
released it
maybe.
yesterday. Oh yeah, 100%. 100% we're gonna have this summit, and then next day they come out being like, pump the brakes. It's only gonna happen unless the North Koreans show verified proof that they're trying to denuclearize their country.
Mhm.
So that's what the whole summit's about, essentially.
Yeah.
So for the White House, for the United States, they want North Korea to stop their nuclear program,
Yeah.
which is awesome because all that shows is that Trump, all the stuff he's been saying this year,
Has worked.
well, not really that. It's more so like he's been like, who cares about their nukes? They'll never be able to hit us, whatnot. And now for the first time in American history, a president will meet with a North Korean leader because the nuclear weapons are starting to get out of hand.
Yeah.
Is essentially how I perceive it.
But I feel like that's only happening because, like, let's just say, like, Bill Clinton or Bush Sr., like, at that point, North Korea, like, didn't have any means to create a nuke, right? So they were kind of safe. They're like, you can, like, talk all you want, but we know you can't make nukes. Now they have nukes, and they've tested them, and they're getting closer. So I feel like now it's kind of like, okay, if we're going to stop this, it has to be now.
Yeah, like, I agree with you. And for any other president that I've seen in my lifetime anyways, this would have been a reasonable thing where you're like, yep, this is just diplomacy in action. It's a small world for the global climate. This is something that has to be done. But when you look at Trump's Twitter feed from the past year, this is him pretty much being like, this is kind of awkward, but me and Kim, we should go for a cup of coffee and kind of talk
Cup
about
of coffee.
these weapons, right?
Isn't it funny? Just like, I want to say out of like a week, right? In the morning, I'll go on Twitter. Like, I'm not trying to stray away, but it's about
Right.
Trump's Twitter. Like, it maybe like twice a week, I'll see someone quote one of Trump's like old tweets, and it's like that's their president, and he's tweeting like some just dumb stuff.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
so funny to see people like bring
Yeah.
something up from like 2 years ago.
Like, he's going to meet a leader of a predominantly military-driven country
Yeah.
that he's called the Rocket Man. You know what I mean? And here's the other thing, too. Like, where will they meet? It seems most likely that he would go to Pyongyang, which is the capital of North
Is that
Korea.
what they're saying?
Well, because here's the thing.
They got to meet in the
Kim
DMZ.
Jong.
The Americans would want, obviously, for him to come to Washington, D.C. There's no way Kim Jong-un would ever do that. And
Yeah.
they would want him to go to
Sure.
Pyeongchang, which...
Or Pyongyang.
Pyongyang, rather. Sorry, Pyongyang, which Trump would be dumb to do. But for the sake of negotiations, unless they find a third country to meet in, which would probably be South Korea.
Nah, it won't be South
If
Korea.
Trump-
Well, here's the thing. The South Korean leader is supposed to meet with Kim Jong-un in April.
I've heard there was talks about that, actually. How, like, they
Yeah.
have been making some kind of steps.
Well, because here's the thing. Like,
Because they probably want to nuke the states together.
for both
Yeah.
sides, this makes sense because at this point, North Korea is being crippled by sanctions. So I feel like
But they've been getting crippled by sanctions.
but because now I feel like the Chinese have a lot to do with this, really, because if you look at the new tariffs coming out from the United States side, and not to mention the amount of sanctions the Chinese have been putting on North Korea.
But they put sanctions, but they just go right by them too. Like they'll put sanctions, but they'll still send them stuff.
Oh yeah, I know, but I feel like
I feel like China in this situation is like not trustworthy, you know, because they're technically on the side of North Korea. They're just playing the side that they want North Korea to stop, just for like the global view. But they're on North Korea's side.
Oh, I see that, but I feel like what's happening is, for the sake of diplomacy and some sort of civil peace and relaxation on that side of the world, the Chinese, Japanese, South Koreans have kind of joined up and have pulled Kim Jong-un off to the side, like, listen, he's kind of a dick, but just talk it out with him. Go for a few drinks. You guys maybe can be something.
Hit the bar.
Yeah, exactly. Because at this point, like, China, Japan, and South Korea, like, North Korea's kind of that friend that's a dick when they go out drinking.
Yeah, like he
he
doesn't know, like, when it's too much.
Yeah, and now the United States is like that frat bro that's looking for a fight. And now they're kind of getting caught in the fight with them. Where they're like, no, we don't. No, he's our buddy. He gets like this. He's drunk. We're sorry. Just leave it. And they're like, yo, swing at me, bro. And like now they're getting caught between it. So I think they're trying to set up the summit more than anyone, so they could kind of buddy up and everyone could be chilled out. Because I feel like at the end of this, what's probably gonna end up happening, Trump won't meet them. Because Trump wants to meet them to denuclearize North Korea, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole point from Washington's side, to meet Kim Jong-un. But they won't meet him unless he shows verified proof that he is currently denuclearizing
So he has to start one to do the other.
Well, that's the thing. Like, to talk to him, to do it, he wants him to do it first. So it makes no sense. It's kind of like, like going to meet up with someone to have drinks, but you want them
to start drinking already.
To start drinking before you meet up with them.
Yeah, sort of I mean, like, but I guess it makes sense because in the end, like, we think about Trump as like just Trump, the guy that like makes all these tweets, but in the end, he's still
a puppet, really.
Yeah, but he's like the president of the United States. Like, he can't show any weakness.
Right.
So he's not going to be like, okay, I trust you. Like, he's not going to, like, maybe it's like him, not himself, but like the government around him or the people around him are basically saying, like, you're not going to show any weakness. Like, you have to have them do the first thing because you're not going to.
I feel like if they meet, it'll be more of a problem than a solution. Because what will happen is Trump will meet Kim Jong-un, and like he's done with every leader he's met since he's become president, he'll meet them, shake their hand, say something nice.
Who's going to shake whose hand first?
I don't think they'll shake hands.
Yeah, they'll probably have to agree, like, listen, we're just not going to shake hands.
Yeah.
They probably will just stand there, look at each other. They won't even do, like, they'll just...
It's going to be like a mom movie where, like, there's just a number on a piece of paper, slide it over, one looks. That's bad.
Keep in mind, too, that I think Donald Trump is, like, 6'1" or something like that.
Right.
And Kim Jong-un is, like, 5'4".
He's also nuts.
It's also crazy.
Yeah, but I feel like...
He also has, like, 30 years on
I feel like if Trump got cheesed, he could just punch him. And knock him out.
But then Kim would just wake up, push a button, it's over.
That's the thing about the meeting is I feel like what would happen is it'd be old
You think
diplomacy.
It'd get worse? It
would be diplomacy then, because that's what Trump does in those business meetings and every political meeting he's ever had. He's all friendly to the person, says great things. The first initial press conference he'll do after, when he's with Kim Jong, or if he's not, he'll
smiles.
Say, yeah, it was good. Great guy. He's the best. I look forward to many like good relations with North Korea. And then once he's back in DC, he'll be ripping and tweeting and saying all this crap about him. And like Kim Jong-un will take that as a complete insult, and it will just make things so much more tense and worse. I feel like if they meet in May...
Yeah, I didn't like think about it that way.
If they meet in May, nuclear tensions will be dramatically increased.
I think it'll go lower, but then I think it might go back up again.
I think it'll go up.
It all depends on how Trump acts. Honestly, it's not even Kim Jong-un.
No, it's both.
I think it's more Trump, because Kim Jong-un will just go back and be default North Korean leader crazy, which the whole world's used to. They're North Koreans. It's fine. They're nuts. But when you talk about the world leader, you can't be having that. You can't have Trump go, form some sort of diplomacy, which the States does, flies back, and then starts instantly ripping on him.
I don't know. I think it's the opposite. I feel like the amount of sanctions that are on North Korea right now, they have to be on their best behavior. Trump could walk in and be like, do what I say, like, you're my son, right? Mm-hmm. And what's North Korea going to do? The only thing they can do is be like, no. And then Trump is going to be like, okay, meeting's done. You have no food, oil, electricity for the next 50 years.
Yeah, but I think if he does that, if he walks in like that, he's already lost. Like, he's not going to... Like, I know it's not a competition, but I mean, like, between the two, he would be the lesser. If he walked in there trying to boss up Kim.
Well, I think even if he did, like, Trump doesn't have enough power to strip them of everything. Like you said, the Chinese have their back. At the end of the day...
The Chinese have their back.
Aren't they, like, in, like, so much debt, too, the States?
Yeah, something like...
The States are in debt, but they're not in debt.
Yeah, it's kind of...
Oh, no, I know, but I mean...
It's kind of like when you owe your buddy money, and it's like, you'll get it to me eventually.
Especially if the guy's, like, huge.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? But, like, I feel like North Korea and, like, China, like, North Korea could go to China and be like, oh, like, this is what Trump said or whatever like that. And then Trump's going to be like, oh, they didn't want to listen. They're going to continue their nuclear program. And they might get, like, active with their missiles. And then China's going to be like, okay, we'll keep the sanctions because, like, nobody wants North Korea to have missiles, right?
Right.
So they're going to keep the sanctions, and they're still going to funnel some stuff to them, but, like, not a lot to help them grow.
Yeah, like, I think at most what the North Koreans will do will freeze their program. Like, they're not going to be like, okay, we're going to get rid of our stuff. We're just going to stop building. What we have now, that's it. That's where our technology lies. Because they're going to want to keep something as a deterrent. North Korea right now, for the first time since the Korean War, is a real major threat.
They're not even a major threat. They're just hyped. They don't have any smoke.
Well, I think the problem is...
I think they do that. They're just hiding it.
You think?
I think they're a threat only because of who the American leader is. Like, once Trump's gone, North Korea won't be a threat anymore because the next leader, fingers crossed, will be able to handle this diplomacy a little better.
I think North Korea's sitting on some heat. And they're just...
You think they have smoke?
I think they just have the burner ready. Like,
yeah, same.
I think they're just, like, waiting for Trump to say one wrong thing, and then... Like, they're ready.
The thing is with North Korea, too, is they're in a position where, like with China, too, like, they're kind of, like, friends with North Korea, but if North Korea acts first, China's going to be against North Korea.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think North Korea will. Like, I think they're in the position where they don't... Like, if... I feel like they won't act first.
So
they won't, but I don't think the States will either. I think the States will pressure all the other countries to act.
No, I think out of the two... I think the States would act first. I'm not saying they will, but I'm saying between the two.
If one were to, I think it would be the States.
If it was just two countries fighting, like there was no other countries in the world, and there's just the two countries fighting,
the States
I think the States would.
I don't think the States would, man.
But
you think North Korea would go first?
Yeah, just because North Korea has the advantage because they're not involved in the UN or any diplomacies of any variety. Really, bar minor things they have just to keep themselves running as a country. Where America, they can't be launching nukes across the world over countries.
Yeah, but...
Like, Japan would be highly affected
if
nuke landed. And South Korea even would be screwed.
Yeah, but didn't they already send missiles over the...
Who?
The States. Didn't they send them into, like, the Middle East?
No.
I swear they did, no?
No.
Not from the States. Because, like a nuke from the States...
Not a
that'd
nuke.
be game-changing.
It was a missile.
I see what you're saying, like a battleship, sort of.
Yeah, it could be just a flyover, like, with a plane. But I feel like... I don't know, like, I don't think North Korea has that much power. I think it's all hype. Because Trump, first of all, he's like a TV star. He knows how to create the hype.
Yeah.
So I think if he wants to get reelected, he's going to try and have this meeting and be like, listen, like, I bossed up Kim Jong-un and I put him in his place.
I think if anything, I don't know how to read the American people, but I think the best thing for Trump...
Not go?
No, is to go, but listen to his people when he gets back. Go, form a diplomacy... Be like, listen, they're denuclearizing themselves. And then that way he'll get, as far as it goes on the political level, a lot more people would be like, that is crazy. First and foremost, to be the first American president to meet a North Korean leader.
That alone is going to be big.
That alone is massive, right? To do that, and then to talk the second most crazy leader in the world out of having the most powerful thing they have.
The second most.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. I feel like they'll keep nukes just as sort of...
North Korea has to keep nukes because otherwise they have no more playing cards.
Yeah.
Their only playing card right now is they have a nuke and they can hit, like, not even a third of the states yet.
Yeah, but...
They can just hit... They can hit Hawaii, then they can just hit the shore.
Well, man, Pearl Harbor, like, they still whine about that, the Americans. I mean, if they just hit Hawaii...
Anything, yeah.
That would be enough.
They could literally hit, like, a sand island.
Yeah.
That's
True.
But
100.
the thing about, like, nuclear weapons is... I can't see anyone using one again. Just because of...
Yeah, I don't think so. But if they do, you can find yourself at Costco the next day.
Did. Honda. But, yeah. Like... It's too tight knit, the world now.
It's all pieces to the puzzle.
That's it.
What's your Uber rating? Search it up.
Is this what we're on about? Is it?
This is what we're on. I want to know everyone's Uber rating.
I don't know my Uber rating. I've never checked.
My phone's recording right now, so I'm gonna see if I can do it on the website.
Can I say mine?
Say yours.
4.86.
Yours is definitely higher than mine.
That's all right.
That's good.
Oh, what is yours?
4.86.
4.7.
Where do you guys go for yours? I don't know if I can do it on the
It's just be on your profile.
profile.
Yeah, like mine's just right there under my name.
Yeah, same.
Oh, okay. Let me go back quickly.
If you can't find it, we'll just edit it in.
I think last time I checked, it was like 4.65 or 4.7. Like, it wasn't that good. I don't know why. I don't think I've been that bad. Actually, one time, one Uber driver got very, very mad at me.
Wasn't there an Uber driver that you paid for I vomited?
Yeah, but I don't think that guy cared. The one I'm talking about, I don't know who was in it. It may have been you in it, but
Probably.
we almost got left on the DVP.
No, that wasn't me.
me.
I think I remember you telling me about that. You've had wild Uber stories though.
There's that one that he told us where that guy went like all over the city.
The guy got pulled
Okay.
over like a Vancouver plane.
I have two Uber stories. We can post in the visual thing what my rating is, but I think it's around 4.6, 4.7 around there.
Right.
So the first one, this woman Uber driver picked me up. No, it was you.
Okay.
Because the story went, you were like, "Can I smoke in the car?"
Oh, and she thought I was smoking.
And she thought you were smoking in the car.
That's...
Because Martino asked her, "Can I smoke?" And the lady's like, "No."
Yeah.
And Martino's like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, but we're driving on the DVP,
And she pulls over.
but before she pulls over,
No.
he wasn't even smoking. But the lady's like, "You're smoking, like put it out." And Martino's like, "Oh, like I'm not smoking."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna pull over." She pulls over, and she's like, "All right, get out. Like I'm leaving you here."
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, "No, you're not.
Yeah.
Like at least bring us to a sidewalk or something." But we're,
Yeah.
She was like, "Yeah, you're smoking. I can smell it." We were like, "What are you talking about?" There was literally no cigarette to be found.
There was nothing. I remember this. Oh my god.
Anyway, I'm sure she thought I was smoking or Martino was smoking or something.
Yeah.
And gave us, I think it was my ride. She probably gave me a 1 star or something.
I'm sorry, Dom.
That's okay.
That was all my fault.
My second weird. This one's even weirder. I think I told you guys, but for the people listening, some guy picked me up in an Uber.
Okay.
I didn't realize it when I got in, but he had no license plates. So
I remember this. I was keeping up with you that night. Like I was
Yeah.
texting you.
Yeah, because all three of us went out together. I remember that.
Yeah.
So I'm in the back seat, and there's a cop making like a right turn towards us, like at an intersection. This guy pulls up to the intersection and stops, and he looks at the cop, and all I hear is, "Shit." And I'm like, "What?" The cop goes around, turns the sirens on, and I'm like, no way. And the guy's like, "Oh, shit, no."
And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't this guy take you all around the city?
That came after.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So he's like, "Oh, shit." The cop turns around, puts his sirens on, and like pulls us over. And I'm in the back seat, so you can only imagine how the cop is like looking at this.
Yeah.
He knocks on the window with the flashlight to me, and he kind of gives the sign like, "Are you okay?"
Right.
And I'm just like, yeah, look, I'm good. And he goes to the Uber driver and he's like, where are your license plates? Like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm from like Manitoba or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm here on like a vacation or something. Anyway, they got in like this thing. I was sitting in the back for like 20 minutes.
Oh my god.
The cop is just questioning him. It didn't make any sense. Like, I think he was just lying. I wanted to leave, but I was like,
Oh no.
yeah.
You were held hostage at that point.
I was held hostage. Anyway, we leave. He's about to drive me. Takes like the most obvious wrong turn known to man.
Right.
Takes another 30 minutes. Drives all the way back down the highway, all the way back up.
Yeah, because I remember you like sent me a screenshot of your route.
There was lines just.
Yeah, like for those of you at home to have a bit of perspective, I think from where we were, you had like a 15-minute Uber drive.
Max 15 minutes, because all he really had to do is go up one street and turn right.
Yeah.
And then you're basically there.
Yeah, and you sent me like a photo, and you like drove up to like North York nearly, and like
North
came
York
across like the.
It was, and this wasn't an Uber X. This was a solo.
That's so funny.
It was weird.
You know what though? On the story of Uber, that's kind of like the story we were talking about, not last week on the podcast, but just beforehand, with the
What?
guy from New Jersey. You know, or the guy from.
Oh wait.
He was from New Jersey.
Yeah, he's from New Jersey, but he's living in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Anyways, like this guy, who I presume is a college student because he lives on campus in West Virginia, he goes out drinking one night, and then he orders an Uber to go home, and this guy's like blackout drunk, but when he clicks home, he clicks his home address back in New Jersey.
Oh no.
He wakes up 2 hours later, like through his 300-mile Uber ride. Now, by the way, it was an Uber X, and it was double fare pricing, and it cost them.
Did you say it was XL or was it X?
It was XL,
XL,
rather.
XL.
XL rather. Sorry. It was XL, and it was double fare pricing. It was like $6,300.
63?
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
and he ended up or per me.
I thought it was 1600.
It was $1,630. That's what
Okay,
it was.
that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, it was $1,630, and he ended up taking it all the way back to New Jersey. Like he was like, "Screw it, I have no choice at this point."
I mean, yeah, once you're home.
Yeah, like he was close enough to New Jersey that I was like, he was better off just going there. And he said even like he woke up and he had no idea who the driver was or where he was.
Can you imagine waking up in a different state, province for us?
Could you imagine actually though, like waking up and like come back?
I'd be scared.
At that point, you kind of just have to go with it.
How long was the drive? 2 hours, you said?
Well, it's 300 miles, right? And you were saying what? You go 60 miles an hour?
65.
65? So, 6-hour drive?
You do the math.
Yes. Six hours?
Something
So,
like that.
yeah, so that's far. How'd you get that drunk? I guess he passed out and then like slept, like had like a sleep. Like it's not just like a knockout for like an hour and you wake up drunk and you just want to go home. Like he like went to bed.
Mm.
Yeah, because you know what? I've done that before where I've gone in an Uber
And slept.
and I've just taken like a quick like drunk nap. Like I've just told the guy straight up like I'm drunk and tired. I won't vomit. Just wake me up when we get to my house and just cade. So fair enough. Fair enough to the Uber driver for driving to like if I was a driver and I saw that.
Well, don't you have to put like your location you're going to? So maybe he's like, oh, like I live there anyway, or like I know someone there.
Yeah, I
like,
live in New Jersey anyways. Because it would say like you're traveling 300 miles.
yeah, I don't know.
Ah,
Sure.
screw it. I'll go to New Jersey.
Yeah.
That's funny. Where we at though?
We're at an hour right now.
Oh, we're at an hour?
59 minutes.
Oh, well. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for coming out. This was a blast.
This was a blast. We always appreciate it. Like,
We'll put the links in the description for the Costco.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to buy one of those.
and Dominic's Uber account will have a username and password.
Yeah. We'll put that up there. Anyway,
Like, comment, subscribe.
let us know what you guys think about any topic.
Any topic, let us know what you want us to talk about. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you guys next week.